Let's talk about our 10th question. Let's talk about the presidential qualifications.
Yes.
You are applying to be the President of the Republic of the Philippines. It's a very complex, gargantuan job. Inilista ko lamang ang ilan sa mga trabaho ng Presidente. Head of Government, Chief Architect of Foreign Policy, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, signs budgets, manages finance, appoints justices, recommended by the Judicial and Bar Council, confers National Artist Awards, manages disasters and pandemics, fights drug wars, head of her political party, has power over aliens, has power of eminent domain, practices general supervision over local governments, and pardons convicts. That's how complex, napakalawak, napakalaki, how daunting ang trabaho ng isang presidente. Samantala, sa ating saligang batas, Article 7, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution, ang qualifications para maging isang presidente ay mga sumusunod. Number 1, natural-born Filipino. Number 2, a registered voter. Must be able to read and write. Number 4, 40 years of age at the day of the election. Number 5, must have resided in the Philippines 10 years before the election is held. Right now, as we talk, Senator Bongbong, napapanahon na ba para amyendahan ang provision na ito ng saligang batas? Oo, hindi, bakit?
Dahil, palagay ko hindi. Dahil the concept behind the way the Constitution has approached the qualifications for President is to come from the point na sinasabi, anyone should be allowed to be President. Dahil mahirap, hindi nakapag-graduate, pero marunong naman, dapat pwede, kung talagang kaya, pwede siyang maging Pangulo. Hindi kailangan ng mga maging mayaman, hindi kailangan maging sikat, all of these things. And that's the idea behind that. But we also have to recognize that I agree, everyone should be allowed to be president. But not everyone can be a good president. So we have to pick, the fix, if you want to call it that, for that, is not to amend the Constitution and to amend the qualifications for president. It is to change the political system in terms of our choice of candidates. Dahil dahil yung multi-party system, kahit na lang sino, pwedeng magtayo ng partido basta may pera siya. At tatakbo, maging presidente, wala namang hindi talaga marunong, hindi namang qualified, walang magawa. Dati, nung two-party system tayo, we had the liberal and the nationalista. Within the parties, everybody wants to be president. Lahat yan gusto mag-senador, mag-governor, mag-mayor. Pero sa loob ng partido mismo, ay namimili na. Tinitingnan sino bang pinakamagaling talaga dito, sinong ilalaban natin, sino imamanok natin na pwedeng senador. So pagpili ng isang partido, sasabihin nila, eto mga kandidato namin, ang parang mong sinasabi, eto na yung pinakamagaling talaga sa amin. Ngayon, dun sa kabilang partido, ganun din ang ginagawa. Kaya kung sino man, puro magagaling ang mga kandidato dahil pinagsabong na yan sa loob ng partido. So lumabas ang pinakamagagaling, ang pinakamekaya, kahit sinong mahalal, marunong. And that, I think, is the way we can, the way that we can. I was a great proponent of the multi-party system because of my experience studying abroad, where I see that it has worked. But it has not really been a successful experiment.
So you are for the two-party system in the Philippines?
I think because we lack the political maturity yet in the Philippines to understand that ideology must play a part in the multi-party system.
Yan po ang ibig sabihin nyo na ayusin natin ang ating political system by going back to the two-party system.
I think that
para nasala na yung mga kandidato na parang Great Britain, for example. There's a quote that says, every prime minister, there is no amateur who becomes a prime minister because you have to be an MP.
Yes.
You have to be an MP to be nominated to be prime minister. You wanted to say something, Senator?
Well, the difference between that and the two-party system is that their party stands for something. When you talk about the Conservative Party, they're conservatives. They talk about the liberal, they're liberal in their
Democrats
in their
and the
thinking.
Republicans may stand sa taxes at saka sa abortion.
The Green Party in Germany started off as an environmental party for environmental issues. All of these things that we haven't yet learned to adopt. And that's why I think we should start thinking about going back to the old simpler system, that we can always guarantee that whoever is elected, I'm not talking only about the president, but whoever is elected in any position, all the way down to mayors and to councilors down at the lowest level, ay lahat yan may pinagdaanan na, may kakayahan.
And you
na.
can effect changes without having to amend the Constitution. Am I right? I'm not very familiar with this.
No,
Kasi,
you cannot.
No, I mean, but you can have rules, no? I mean, can you add? I mean, I don't know how to do it. But like Myanmar, for example, peculiarities ito eh. Hindi ka na pwede magpresidente pag ang iyong asawa ay foreigner because of the Aung San Suu Kyi.
That's right.
And then Turkey, I think, is higher education is required. Indonesia, ay high school graduate. France requires a bank account.
A bank account. Yeah.
So, titingnan mo ito bilang presidente.
But you are already discounting a large part of the population. Now, if like Turkey, you say you need to have a college,
Higher
have a college
education.
degree, then are you sure that every single citizen has access to a college education? If that's so, baka pwede yun. But we cannot guarantee that. You are, again, as I said, excluding immediately with no reason except their educational attainment a large part of the population. Malay mo yung isa dun genius na napakagaling na aayusin lahat ng
That one and many other requirements. Ang dami nilang mga requirements.